Welcome back, people. It's time for the final eShop sale video of 2025, outside of the unlikely event of another sale dropping. I tried to add a bit of everything today, and it just so happens that 4 or 5 of these are some of my favourite games available on the Switch. So hopefully I can turn a few people onto these. But with that said, drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss future sales videos. Now, let me try my best to add to those backlogs of yours. Kicking things off with a deal that can swallow entire weekends if it clicks with you. Enter the Gungeon is a bullet hell roguelike twin-stick shooter where every run is a scramble through randomised rooms, absurd guns, and nasty boss fights, and its centrepiece is just how damn fast it feels. Movement is snappy, dodges are tight, and you're constantly reacting to enemy patterns and bullet spreads. Each run is pretty quick, but it also turns into a long-term mastery game once you start learning bosses and finding synergies between weapons and passives. It's also full of secrets, unlocks, and little discoveries that keep the loop fresh for ages. And it's a game that easily clears well over 60 hours of gameplay if you get hooked. Enter the Gungeon is currently £2.49 or the price shown on the screen, and is 77% off until December 31st in the UK and Europe, and January the 5th in North America. This next one can turn into a go-to comfort game very quickly. I think I can safely say that No Man's Sky is everything that was promised on launch, and then some. As an open-ended space exploration and survival sandbox, it's bloody brilliant. The freedom of pace is almost unmatched. You can spend one session scanning wildlife and mining resources, then the next session chasing blueprints, improving your gear, or just drifting until you find a planet you love. It's exactly what it says on the tin, an infinitely procedurally generated universe where you make your own destiny. It's a living, breathing galaxy with endless adventures which you can engage with as lightly or as deeply as you want. The Switch 2 upgrade is free, and it just adds a bit of everything to the overall awe and spectacle, adding higher resolutions, increased FPS, enhanced visuals, and so much more. It really is great. No Man's Sky is currently £15.99 or your local equivalent, and is 60% off until December 31st in the UK and Europe, and January the 5th in North America. You could also consider this next one a cozy game, in its own weird way. It's more about curiosity than difficulty. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is a surreal first-person narrative game where you play as Stanley, an office worker exploring his empty office building after his co-workers disappeared. You are guided and often contradicted by an omnipresent narrator. The game is a meta-commentary on player choice, storytelling, and free will in video games. The Ultra Deluxe version also expands the original in meaningful ways, so even if you've seen it before, there's still plenty of fresh content, and even then, once you've completed it, there are so many branching paths, you will always miss something. And for only £7.99 or your region's equivalent, it is 60% off until January the 11th in the UK and Europe only. There's not the biggest discount on this next one, but it's worth the price. Alien Isolation is a survival horror game built around stealth, tension, and constant pressure. This is all about the atmosphere. It's quite a unique game really, or at least it was when it was released. The fact that you're not fighting the xenomorph, you're surviving it, hiding, listening, and reacting as the environment slowly turns against you. It really is exhilarating. The game never lets you relax for too long, and you'll never get bored of the different ways and locations you'll die. And trust me, you will die. It isn't the biggest discount on the list, but if you've never played it before, this is an excellent opportunity to experience one of the strongest horror games of the last decade, in a very, very solid port. Alien Isolation is currently £9.99 or your local equivalent, and is 25% off until January the 11th in the UK and Europe, and January the 5th in North America. Lightening the tone, Forager is a cozy 2D open-world game inspired by all of the favourite exploration and farming and crafting games you can name. It's a crafting and progression-focused game built around constant forward momentum that endlessly rewards every small action. You're gathering resources, expanding land, crafting upgrades, unlocking skills, and watching the game open up piece by piece at a very steady pace. The progression is clear, feedback is constant, and the game is very good at making time disappear. It is the best and worst part of these games. But it really does have everything. On top of the resource gathering and base building, you level up, learn new skills and abilities, solve puzzles, and find secrets whilst you're raiding dungeons. You can literally achieve anything you want. And that is the beauty of this game. It is currently £6.29 or the equivalent in your region, and is 65% off, running until December 31st in the UK and Europe, and January the 5th in North America. Crypt Custodian is an action-adventure with light Metroidvania structure, focused on tight combat, exploration, and a surprisingly cozy tone despite its spooky theme. It's a fantastically polished game that has a wonderful moment-to-moment gameplay. The movement is responsive, combat is readable, and progression is paced so you're always unlocking something new. It's great fun, and the sessions always feel productive whether you're clearing rooms, unlocking shortcuts, or upgrading abilities. The world design here encourages exploration without excessive backtracking, and the art style balances charm and atmosphere in a way that keeps things inviting rather than oppressive. It's not a massive sprawling game, but that works in its favour, especially on the Switch, where shorter, focused experiences shine. The discount isn't huge, but the quality absolutely carries it here. Crypt Custodian is currently £12.59 or the equivalent in your region, and is 30% off until January the 9th in the UK and Europe, and January the 10th in North America. Here's a slice of life bargain with a lot to do. My Time at Portia is a crafting and life sim RPG where you rebuild a workshop, take commissions, farm, and slowly become part of a small town routine. It has your traditional day-to-day loop, gathering materials, crafting upgrades, and delivering commissions. Then you unwind with fishing, mining, or just checking in with the villagers. It's a game that gives you a lot of structure, but you are never forced into min-maxing. You can focus on money and building, or lean into relationships and exploration instead. The world is quite literally your oyster, and with its slow and steady progression, the amount of content you can get out of it is nearly endless. I do have to mention that the Switch port isn't without its performance issues. There is pretty heavy pop-in and the loading screens can be really rough at times, but it is still a great game once you get into it. And there is a likely chance that the Switch 2 upgrade will come at some point, in the run-up to their new game releasing. I talked all about this in my recent video on games that need an upgrade. You can currently pick this up for £3.74 or the price you see on screen, and it's 85% off until January the 11th in the UK and Europe, and January the 5th in North America. If you're feeling in the mood for something deeply strategic, here's a tactics RPG that can last forever. Disgaea 1 Complete is a turn-based tactical RPG built around grid combat, ridiculous damage numbers, and near-endless progression systems. Currently, all of the Disgaea games are on sale, but this game gives you so much freedom, it's crazy. You can play it straight and enjoy the story and battles, or you can dive into the min-maxing rabbit hole and start breaking the game, on purpose. You can literally spend hours and hours just upgrading one item as you fight through the item world, and you can do this to every item in the game. It's a min-maxer's wet dream. The humour is a little goofy, especially in the older entries, but it's part of the charm. It's currently on sale for £15.74 or the price listed on screen, and it's 65% off until December 31st in the UK and Europe, in January the 5th in North America. And this one's a stealthy little gem. Ghost of a Tale is an action-adventure with stealth and light RPG elements, where you play as a courageous minstrel mouse, navigating a dangerous fortress and piecing together a mystery. It's a game that rewards patience. Learning guard routes, sneaking through safe paths, and using disguises makes the game incredibly satisfying, and any progress seriously earned. It's never about speed or aggression. It's about being careful, curious, and methodical, and it really is a great little immersive adventure where you do everything you can to avoid detection. It's simple, frustrating at times, but fun, and it's currently £3.37 or the equivalent wherever you are, and it's 85% off until January the 3rd in the UK and Europe and January the 4th in North America. Next up is a cozy game with a dark undertone. Dredge is a fishing and exploration game that slowly blends calm routines with creeping unease. This game masters the balance between relaxation and tension. The core experience is you heading out on your boat to explore a collection of remote isles and the surrounding depths, just to see what lies below. You sell your catch to the locals and complete quests to learn more about each area's troubled past and the mysteries surrounding them. I've actually been thinking about this game quite a bit recently, ever since I finished Cast and Chill, and it really did remind me of how much fun I had playing this game. Dredge is currently $9.99 US or $11.99 Canadian and is 60% off until January the 9th in North America only, but if you're from Europe, don't worry, this one tends to cycle back and forth on sale. And to close things out, here's a game that will consume your life. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, is a life sim RPG built around swapping between jobs, gathering materials, crafting gear, and steadily improving your character through a satisfying routine. And it really is a cracking game. The job variety is the hook, because changing roles genuinely changes what you're doing moment to moment. It's priced like a premium release, because it is one. And they have just launched the 2.0 update, which has added a new roguelike update, which will no doubt substantially increase my playtime. The flexibility this game offers you is incredible. You can spend an evening just fishing or cooking, or you can push quests, build combat skills, and unlock new tools that expand everything else you can do. Even when you aren't following the story, the next step in your progression is always clear, and the decision is left to you what path to choose next. Variety may be the hook, but it never feels like a grind. Fantasy Life I is currently £37.49, or your regional equivalent, and is 25% off until January the 8th in the UK and Europe and January the 9th in North America. And you can also get the Switch 2 upgrade for £2.04 in the UK and $2.59 in the US, and any other equivalent relevant to yourselves. And that wraps up what is likely the last eShop sale of 2025. And boy, it's been a blast. Hopefully, over the past few months, I've helped a few people pick up some bargains, or just a few gems you didn't know about. Going into 2026, I've got quite a few plans with where I want to go with the channel, and a few changes I definitely want to make. But I just wanted to thank everybody for the support so far. It's been fun, and I have no plans on stopping. If you like this or any of my other videos, then be sure to like and subscribe and click for notifications so you always get updated when I upload a new video. But with that said, thanks for watching, stay cozy, and I'll see you in 2026 to make sure that backlog never ends.